Hey friends, welcome back to Seeing Stars, where we encourage teachers, moms, and childcare providers to shine with Christ's light in the classroom and beyond. If you're new here, I'm Lori Lopez, and I'm so glad you found us. This is a space for real talk, honest struggles, and God-centered encouragement to remind you that you're not alone in this journey. Have you ever had one of those days where you feel more like a thornbush than a fruitful tree? I know I have. That's why this little parable in Judges 9 hit me so hard. It's about what kind of leader we're choosing to be. In Judges 9, 6-15, Jotham tells a story. The trees wanted a king, and they asked the olive tree, the fig tree, and the vine. But each said, "No, I need to keep doing what God made me to do." And finally, they asked the thornbush. And the thornbush said, "Sure, I'll be king, but if you don't listen to me, I'll burn you down." And when I read that, I thought, wow, sometimes in the classroom, I feel that thornbush rising up in me. Maybe you felt that too. Now, what stood out to me first were the olive tree, the fig tree, and the vine. All knew their role wasn't about power. It was about producing fruit. And that reminds me of Paul's words about the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, and kindness. And let's be real, those don't always come easy, especially when you're running on little sleep or you've said, "Eyes on me" for the 40th time that day. But here's what I've noticed in my own classroom. It's not the big speeches or the perfectly planned lessons that the students remember. It's the small, consistent fruit. The smile when they walk in. The encouragement when they stumble. The listening ear when they need to be heard. Those are the moments that stick. And that's what the olive, fig, and the vine remind us, to keep producing fruit, even if it feels small. But if I'm being honest with you, not every day feels that way. There are days when the fruits of the Spirit get pushed aside and the thorns come out instead. Those thornbush moments are what I call tough days. Like the time a student kept tapping his pencil over and over and over, and instead of redirecting calmly, I snapped, "Would you please stop that?" You could see the whole class go silent. In that moment, I wasn't the olive tree. I was the thornbush scratching and wounding. And that's what the parable warns us about. Thornbush leadership doesn't just prick. It can spread like fire. I've seen it myself. When my frustration sets the tone, the whole classroom feels it. And maybe you've been there too. So the question is, if thornbush leadership burns, how do we stay rooted in the fruitful kind of leadership? So for me, the answer always comes back to Jesus. Staying rooted in Christ is the only way. In John 15:5, Jesus says, "I am the vine and you are the branches." And that means it's not about me forcing fruit. When I stay connected to Him, the fruit just comes. There was a week where everything seemed to be falling apart. Lesson plans weren't clicking, students were restless, and I was drained. And I remember sitting in my car at lunch and praying, "Lord, I don't have anything left to give." And you know what? That afternoon, one of my quietest students came up to me and said, "Thank you for always being kind." And it floored me. I didn't feel kind. But God's Spirit was producing fruit through me anyway. That's the difference. He's the true King, and when I lean on Him, He gives me what I need so I can give my students what they need. So maybe today, let's pause and ask ourselves, what kind of tree am I being in my classroom right now? And if you're feeling a little thorny, hey, that's okay. God's mercy is new every morning. The Spirit meets us right where we are, and day by day, He helps us grow into fruitful trees in Christ's vineyard. If this spoke to you or to your heart the way it spoke to mine, I'd love for you to stick around here. Here at Seeing Stars, we're building a community of teachers walking this journey together. So subscribe and share this with a friend who might need encouragement today. And if you're looking for more, I've got some resources at www.seeingstarscoach.com. And remember, you're not alone. We're in this together. You guys have a blessed week. Bye.